I screwed up my first batch of mead I made years ago, so today we're going to take a look at how to make mead easy. Got myself a little mead making kit. Big Rob here with Make Beer Easy. I teach people how to make beer easily and still have it taste great. Why am I making mead? Well, why not, I guess is the question. Years ago I did make it just for fun. I kind of just bought my own stuff, and let's just say it didn't turn out great at all. It was just really almost watery, dry. It's probably about 10 years ago I made it. So fun of it, I bought this kit about a year ago, and I'm just getting to it now. It's a craft of brew making mead kit. You can check it out actually on my blog. I got the link to where you can get it if you actually do want to brew some mead. In it comes with a 1 glass carboy fermenter, so that's a cute little fella. Isn't that cute? What a cute little 1 gallon carboy. It actually comes with, this is cool because I am brewing some little batches of stuff. It comes with a siphon and racking cane and tubing. That's right on. Comes with a airlock, very important, and comes with a funnel. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with the funnel, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. And as for ingredients, mead's so dang easy. It's apparently the first alcohol ever brewed. Comes with yeast. There goes the cat attacking my filming session. Comes with sanitizer. Comes with probably a champagne yeast is what I would guess it is, but I don't know. I'd have to look at it a little more. And it comes with yeast nutrients. You got to go get your own honey, which is kind of funny. You put a kit together and you got to go get your own honey. I think 2.5 pounds. So I'm going to do 3 pounds. And I just went to the grocery store and I got some orange blossom mead. All natural, no added flavors or anything. So it's all natural. So I'm going to use 4 of these. I don't know how big they are, 375 grams. I'm going to use those. All right, what else can I tell you before we get going? So step number 1, I'm going to sanitize. I'm going to use my Star San. I got it over here somewhere. I just love Star San, so I'm just going to use it. I've already got it going. You want to soak like any alcohol you're making. Bacteria is your #1 enemy, so everything's got to be sanitized. This thing doesn't even have a boil. Like, there's no boil involved here. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm heating up that honey, getting her in here with the water, adding the yeast nutrient, I guess. I'll look at the instructions here and add the yeast, put the airlock on, and fermenting away we go. So that's what I got, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to go sanitize that bad boy and anything that's going to touch it, and I'll be back right after that. Okay, gang. Sanitizer in there. I also take an extra bowl and fill it with sanitizer. Put anything I might need, like a knife to cut or scissors to cut the yeast packet. I've got the airlock in there. Anything that it might need. In this case, there's not a lot. So what I figured I'd do is I'd take a second and just kind of go over the instructions with you as I'm waiting for that to sanitize. Day 1, sanitize. Bam. So they talk about using their own sanitizer. Gather 2.5 pounds of honey and 1 gallon of spring water, which I do have some spring water I'm going to use. Usually I just use my tap water because it's on a well. I don't have any chlorine in it. If not, use spring water. Pour only half a gallon of water into the sanitized jug using the funnel. Okay, so that's what we're using the funnel for. Funnel's going into the sanitizer now. Pour about 1/3 of the honey into the carboy and plug the top with a sanitized stopper covering the hole with your clean thumb. Swirl and shake until the honey is completely dissolved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to fill up some hot water in my sink and let them get nice and warm in there so the honey pours nicely. Continue to add, let me see, then we do that, plug the top covering your clean. Swirl and shake until the honey is completely dissolved. Continue to add the rest of the honey 1/3 at a time, shaking to dissolve. You now have must. We make beer, it's wort. This is must. Winemaker's term for unfermented wine. Indeed. Sun's calling. Sorry, bud. We're in video alcohol making time. Before adding more spring water, add the entire packet of day 1 yeast nutrient. Okay, we got a day 1 yeast nutrient. Okay, and the carboy shake to dissolve. The other packet of yeast nutrients will be used on day 2 and 5 of fermentation. Now add spring water to the carboy until you've reached the 1 gallon fill line. just above perfect. Place the stopper back in, cover the hole, shake for a full minute. This gives yeast plenty of oxygen. Open the old yeast packet, dump her in, shake her up, assemble and fill the airlock with water. I use sanitized water, so just scoop some of that water that you've got your sanitizer in, use that in the airlock. Your mead will ferment for a total of 30 days. Set an alarm for 24 hours from now. Think I can do that? That's when you'll add the next dose of yeast nutrients. Store your carboy in a dark place. Fermentation temperatures under 7 degrees, just like beer. So they're saying between 63 and 70, identical to beer. Fermenting too warm can cause unpleasant flavors and aroma, just like beers. And yeast activity may take 12 plus hours. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to get this process going here, and I'll be back as we're adding the 1/3 of the honey to start. Yeah. All right, gang. We are all sanitized up. We're going to add a ½ gallon. So I'm using this, just purified water. It's not distilled. Don't use distilled. This apparently could have some of the minerals filtered out. Not worried about it because we're adding yeast nutrient. If I was worried, I'd just use my tap water. Preferably just use spring water. But I'm not worried about this. We're good to go. So we're going to fill that up with half a gallon is what it says. And then we're going to add 1/3 of the honey and shake her all up, put the stopper in and cover it with our sanitized clean finger. All right, I don't know, about half. We're not quite half, close enough. Just got to get it to dissolve. So I'll pour a little bit in while you're here. So I get 4 of these. I'm going to put one in what, I don't know, 1/4 of another one. Everything's sanitized. Oh, it's coming out of there quite nice. There we go. That's what we wanted. Probably should not have used the funnel for this now that I'm thinking about it. That was kind of dumb. Should have just poured it right in. But anyway, she's dripping down through. So I'm going to get that in there, guys. I'll get 1/3 of it in. Bring you back for the big shakeroo of the old carboy, and we'll go from there. So the longest part of this very simple brewing process I've discovered is waiting for the honey to trickle in through the funnel. Could have warmed it up a little more, could have not used the funnel, could have just taken the lid off the honey, which I'm going to do next time. I'm just going to try to dump it in there. But so far, it's easy to make alcohol, ridiculously easy to make alcohol, dangerously ridiculous to make alcohol. The hardest part is waiting for that honey to run down through the old funnel-rooski. Okay, gang, we got 1/3 of the honey in there, and now they say to put the stopper in, cover it up with your sanitized thumb, shake her up until it's all dissolved. Shake and swirl, baby. Swirl, swirl. We'll be swirling this back. Actually, it takes about 30 days to make this sauce, so about 30 days from now, we'll be swirling her back. And then what you do, guys, you just keep doing this, adding all your honey 1/3 at a time. Shake and swirl until she's all dissolved up. I was going to say all swirled up. Put my stopper back in the old sanitizer, and I won't come back. You won't see me swirl the rest of it. I'm going to do that, so you'll be back when I add the yeast nutrient. Just because I want as much alcohol as possible in my mead, once it's done, this is empty, poured in there. I've been putting water in it, shaking her up, and then just dumping her in as well. Get as much of the liquid honey out, because that's what causes the alcohol, creates the alcohol with the yeast. That's all the sugar that the yeast eats to make alcohol and CO2. So that's what I'm doing there. Just an add little tip that I just kind of came up with. Always thinking. So I will talk about, as I'm waiting for, I still use the funnel. I said, screw it, I already got the funnel going. I will talk about the cost involved. 1 gallon, this was not a cost-effective way to make alcohol. Those bottles of honey, each, it's good honey, mind you, orange blossom, but still, you want good honey because you want good meat. No point making it. Those were $9 each, so 9 times 4, I don't know, 36 bucks for 1 gallon. Way too much. I got that just from the grocery store because I want to get this done today. I'm sure I could source out better priced mead. Last time I did it was at Costco, and I'm pretty sure I didn't spend anywhere near that. It was a big batch. Plus, you could go to farmers markets. Go find some beekeepers if you're really serious about driving the price down. But 36 bucks, that's not worth it to me. Anyway, we will we'll be back as I'm going to add the yeast nutrient here soon. All right, gang. All the honey's in there, and I have stirred the bejumpins out of this bad boy. And you notice there's more water in it now. We're almost at the 1 gallon mark, which is apparently just above there. Reason for that is I filled up each jar of honey I filled up with water to get the rest of the honey out, and it topped it up quite a bit. That's okay. I don't see any reason why that's going to cause any issues. Next step, day 1 yeast nutrient. So we're going to add the yeast nutrient here now. Try not to spill it all over the floor. That won't do us any dang good. Okay, that's going in that bad boy. Get her in there. The instructions probably say to shake the bajumpins out of it again. Add the yeast nutrient, add the entire carboy, and shake to dissolve. So once again, we're now shaking up all the yeast nutrient and getting her in there, and actually adding some, well, it's not adding any oxygen because my finger's covering the hole. But anyway, we will get some oxygen in there because it's good for the yeast starting out. That's good enough for me. Next steps will be to top her up. Before adding water, add the entire yeast nutrient day 1. The other packet of yeast nutrients will be used on day 2 and 5. Now add spring water to the carboy until you've reached the 1 gallon fill line. Okay. Back into the sanitizer with the old plug, and we're going to add the old spring water just over the 1 gallon mark. Very exciting. Complicated brewing this is. I'm being sarcastic, guys. This is, if you're looking for an easy alcohol to make, this will do it. Okay, we got that. What's it say now? I'm guessing we're going to add the old yeast to the old bad boy. Let's find out. Well, first, let's see here. Place the stopper back in, cover the hole, and shake for a full minute. Okay, I won't make you guys watch me shake it for a minute, so I'll be back after I've shook the bajumpins out of that for a minute. We'll add the yeast, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, guys. So I shook it for about 30 seconds. It's shaken up. She's as shaken up as she can get. Now we're going to add the yeast nutrient, or not the yeast nutrient. We're going to add the yeast. This is what we're using. Okay, and I haven't given it a good look. I'm guessing. I'm not even going to guess. I would think that it would. Well, I guess I am guessing because I'm thinking that it would be a champagne yeast or something like that. But anyway, we can look into that later. She's definitely not a beer yeast. Get her all in there. All right. I don't think it matters if you shake the yeast, but either way, we're not going to bother. We're going to put the stopper in, and then you get your airlock. Again, I just use the sanitizer, guys. Fill her up to the, there's a line on there. Use sanitized water. Put your, whatever the bubbly thing is that bounces up and down. Put the cover on. Drop her in there. I always hate these bungs, like you can never tell if it's in there correctly or not. Anyway, I'll play with that in a little bit. She's not in there good. Always drives me nuts. Even on my Spidell, I hate that. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. We're not done brewing, okay? So this is important. Your mead will ferment for a total of 30 days. 24 hours from now, I'm going to add yeast nutrient number 2. Degassing. This is interesting. After full 24 hours of fermentation, you will need to degas your mead to release CO2 buildup and prepare for the next dose of yeast nutrients. So these next few steps can create a geyser of foam if you don't work slowly and in small increments. We advise reviewing steps 7 and 9 before you begin. So I'm going to review these with you. Review the airlock and remove the airlock and stopper, step 7, and begin degassing your mead by slowly swirling the jug. Start gently and stop as needed to allow foam to dissipate. Once foam subsides, begin to swirl more vigorously for at least 2 minutes. This process helps release built-up CO2 and keeps the yeast healthy. This is wild to me because when you're making beer, you definitely don't want to take the airlock off. Anyway, number 8, once your mead is degassed, pour half. Okay, so the day 2 and day 5, they come in the same packet, the yeast nutrients. Pour half of it into a small bowl. Reserve the other half for step 11, which is day 5. Scoop out about a quarter of the yeast nutrients from your bowl and very slowly sprinkle it into the carboy. Mead may immediately begin to foam. Swirl the carboy to help it dissipate. Once the foam subsides, continue adding the rest of day 2 yeast nutrients in tiny increments. This process may take a few minutes. Wait until foaming stops. Swirl again for 30 seconds to mix the nutrients into the mead, and then gently put the air stopper back on. Mark your calendar for 3 days where you're going to do it all over again for day 5. And then they do recommend additional degassing your mead during day 6 to 20 to ensure your finished product is crystal clear. and free of unwanted carbonation. This is interesting because you don't do this making beer at all. Degassing keeps yeast productive, which improves the flavor of your finished mead. To degas, swirl and shake the cloudy carboy for daily or every few days for 2 full weeks. Not happening. Stopping as needed to let foam subside. Your mead will need to sit undisturbed for 10 days before bottling it. So no more degassing after day 20. She's in the fermenter for 30 days. Day 30 and beyond. So we're into bottling now. Because again, I might do a video on these, but probably not. You can bottle after 30 days, but the flavors will continue to prove additional aging. So you can leave it in there even longer. Feel free to bottle now or anytime after the 30-day mark. To bottle your mead, use the flip top bottles they recommend, or just any beer bottles, doesn't matter. You're going to transfer it via the siphon that comes with it. You'll just siphon it into the bottles, just like you would when you're making beer. So decided to involve you in the day 2 degassing. I'm not going to involve you in the day 5 degassing because it's the exact same. But I decided I'd include this in the video. So what we're doing here, there we are. So we did this, I guess it'd be 24 hours in the old carboy. That's what she's looking like. Krausen ring up there. I do notice that my airlock got a little cloudy. So I'm thinking that perhaps she foamed up into it, which I'm seeing some evidence along the side and the neck of the carboy as well. So degassing, it's very interesting. First of all, I've got my starter sand in my bowl here. I'm going to put my airlock in there. I'm going to take the, apparently don't worry about oxygen at this stage because it's going to keep, CO2 is going to keep pushing it out. I'm going to change the sanitizer in this airlock because I don't like that it's all cloudy like that. So we'll put that in the old starter sand. Now degassing it, simple as just swirling it around, very easy. Apparently it can foam. It's got me all freaked out, man. It's like, go easy, it could overflow and cause a big... Start gently and stop as needed to allow. Begin degassing, swirling. We're swirling the jug. Well, we're not getting any foam, so we're going to speed her up a bit. Degassing it. This is something I'm not used to. Never degassed anything, at least not alcohol-wise. Okay, it says start gently and stop as needed, allow foam to dissipate. Well, I'm getting some foam. Once foam subsides, begin to swirl more vigorously for at least 2 minutes. This process helps release built-up CO2 and keeps your yeast healthy. Very interesting. There, we got some foam going there now. I don't know what you guys can see. I got my hand, big-ass hand in the way. Just swirling her, degassing the shit out of it. And then what'll happen is after the 2 minutes of degassing, which I won't keep you guys here for that, I'm gonna add the yeast nutrient. Day 2 and 5 with these Brew mead kits come in 1 container. So I just kind of halved it in some shot glasses. Half will go in today and half will go in on day 5. So that's what I'm gonna do, guys. I will bring you back so you can watch me put the old yeast nutrient in because that's very dang exciting. But I'm going to sit here and degas this old son of a bee. You betcha. All right, guys. So instructions said, give it a little swirl. The gas will come out, foam will come out. And then once the foam dissipates, then give her a vigorous swirl for 2 minutes. No, sir. No bueno. Not the way. Not the way. Every time I swirl, this is what's happening. So I'm just about done. I've done it about 6 times. Give it a good swirl. It starts foaming out like crazy. So I'm just about done because I get shite to do today. So what's going to happen is I'll let that foam dissipate. I'll be back and we'll drop that nutrient, give her one more swirl, put the airlock on, call her a day. Okay, I ain't waiting any longer. It's time to get this show on the road. So we got the old Texas Inn, wonderful spot if you ever make her to Lynchburg, Virginia. Something out of the Twilight Zone. Order yourself a cheesy all the way and a bowl of cheese. Good after a night of drinking. All right, so we're going to try to get that in there. Apparently this could cause it to foam up too. Some more just sitting in there. Oh yeah, she's a foaming. Here it comes. We got some action. Live action. Get in there. Yeast nutrient. Don't even know what the hell it is. Doesn't say on the deal. Anyway, so that's in there. We're going to take our stopper, our clean finger. We're going to give her a nice swirl. Probably shouldn't do it that much. I'm probably going to have a major geyser here. But anyway, you're supposed to swirl her up to mix the nutrient in there. Woo! Woo! We did. We got ourselves a little... Whoa! She's foaming. Shouldn't have swirled it that much. Should have just given a little twirl to get the... Oh yeah, she's coming out there good now. All you want to do is just get the nutrient in there. She's probably all coming out the top of it now, my luck. Anyway, I'm going to let that calm down, then I'm going to get the airlock back in. Next steps, guys, I got to degas it again on day 5 and add an yeast nutrient then. And then they say to degas it throughout. I've kind of looked into it. I'm not going to degas it every day, maybe a few more times. And then 30 days in the carboy, and then we're going to bottle it. So outside of that, that's it, guys. I'll be back for the taste test. Again, you can check me out on makebeereasy.com underneath this video if you want to learn how to make beer. I have a beginner brewer's bootcamp, 7 days. You can sign up for free, of course. And if you've been brewing beer for a while, or if you're looking to get into all grain, I give away my personal 5 top selling recipes to the beers that I brewed at my brew pub. So that's what I got, guys. Have yourself a great weekend. Look at that. Oh, it's coming out of the actual, coming right out of the top of the old bung. Anyway, guys, that's it. This will be fun. Show up for the taste test. I'll put the link under this video. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Big Robb will he gone.